Hey, well, we are talking with Miss Rachel Slauson. If you can't tell by her banner, she was just crowned Miss Utah 2020. Congratulations, my dear.
Thank you.
Was it fun?
So much fun.
So much fun. And she's making history as the first bisexual contestant, and we want to give you props for everything you're doing to shine a light on that on the pageant stage. But not only that, you're really raising awareness for mental health because you've struggled with it for so many years. So let's talk about your platform and what you're doing.
So my platform is called I Am Why, and the mentality behind that is that I believe that I am why I am here, and that applies to all of us.
Right.
So when you're in that moment of wondering, why should I keep going? Why try a little bit harder? Because if you're struggling with a chronic disease like depression, anxiety, or in my case, bipolar disorder, that's not always a quick fix. It's not something that you can just wake up and get better, even if you go see and seek professional help. So I think I found that through my journey, taking everything one decision at a time and recognizing that I am a good enough reason to keep going is what I really want to share with young people.
Good for you. And here's what's super impressive is that you didn't just compete once in the pageant. You picked yourself up every time you didn't win and you went back. How many times?
I competed for Miss Utah USA 5 times.
5 times. And how many pageants total have you competed
And I've
in?
done 7 beauty pageants.
I mean, but talk about just because at first you don't succeed, right? Going back and pushing harder and pushing through that. And you said that when you didn't win your last one, and you actually had, that was your last time you attempted suicide. Take us back to that moment when you didn't win the pageant before actually winning this year.
So this was actually it was my second time competing at Miss Utah USA, and I was already struggling with mental health issues, and I just internalized that loss so hard. I thought that it had something to do with me. I wasn't good enough, and because I was already struggling with thoughts of suicide and depression, it was just the perfect storm of triggers with my self-worth. And it was really the moment where I started on my own journey of truly learning to love myself. And it did take a lot of times to win, but I really feel like the actual victory is in failure. And I think that failure is extremely powerful. I think more people should be excited to fail, because every single time that I lost, I had to dig deeper into myself to find why keep going. And that answer keeps coming back, and it's, I am the reason why I keep going. And winning a pageant is fun, but this is just one chapter in my life, and it only lasts a year, then hopefully Miss USA is another year and it continues on from there. But at the end of the day, my pageant journey will come to an end, and what I'm left with is my relationship with myself.
100%. And you always hear it. Whenever we all go through a hard time, people are always saying to you, oh, it'll get better. Things are meant to be. And it's really hard, I think, in that situation to grasp that. But then in the long run, you look back and you go, okay, look at where I am now, right? And it's so amazing to see what we can do, and we are resilient. Now let's go back to when you came out last year as well. How hard was that?
That was incredibly hard. I came out to my family before I ever came out to anyone else, and that was one of the hardest conversations that I've ever had, because it was not something that I believe my family understood at the time. And I'm very vulnerable and transparent with my social media, but there's always that kind of disconnect with social media.
Always.
You can share and be vulnerable, and then it's, no one's there. You don't have to deal with anyone's immediate emotions about something, but when you're coming face to face with your family and you're sharing something really personal and putting yourself out there and knowing that they might not understand, that was a really hard conversation.
Absolutely. What about for people out there that are listening and maybe going through the same thing and they don't know what to do or how to approach it with family or friends? What would you tell them?
I would say start with one person. You don't owe an explanation of who you are to anybody. You don't have to come out about your sexuality. You don't have to share your mental health diagnoses with the world. I believe a more transparent world is one of the most healing things that we could create for ourselves.
100%.
But I think that starts one conversation at a time. And picking someone that you trust, picking someone that is not going to judge you, as a safe space. Starting with that one conversation, you'll start to realize that there's absolutely nothing about you that changes your worthiness of love. And as you're more comfortable in that in yourself, you're going to only further surround yourself with people that see and treat you that way.
Absolutely. You are so well spoken and so inspiring, and beautiful inside and out, right? I just love, I've been reading up on all that. I'm following your social media the last little while since you won, and it's been very fun to be on your journey with you.
Thank you.
Rachel, thank you so much. And if they want more information on your platform or where they can get help for either mental illness or anything, where can they go?
Follow me at Salty Rachel,
I love
representing
it.
Salt Lake City. And also, there are a lot of great resources. Again, if you follow me there, I'll be sharing more resources over the next couple months.
Love it. Well, you're the best. So great to meet you in person, Rachel.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back.